Hi, Jeff Higley with HotelNewsNow.com. I'm at the Hilton Worldwide headquarters in McLean, Virginia. I'm with Chris Nassetta, the President and CEO of Hilton Worldwide. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Jeff, great to have you. Thanks for coming.
You mentioned rate, and that's been a big challenge for the industry. How do you see that moving forward? We're starting to see some momentum building over the last month, 6 weeks. How's it going to shake out for the rest of this year and the rest of and 2011?
Well, for us, I think, as I say, if you look at the first half of the year, more than 100% of the RevPAR gains came in occupancy. In fact, rate was still off a bit in the first half of the year. I think you're going to start to see that shift out in the second half of 2010. As we look to 11 and beyond, I think you're going to continue to see, as we typically do in a recovery cycle, that those percentages shift out where more of our RevPAR growth is going to come from rate. And what's happening, and you're seeing it in individual markets around the world, like in New York or London or others, as you build back occupancies to high enough levels, we're starting to see an opportunity to shift out the mix of our business from getting lower rated business out, replacing it with higher rated business, and actually moving rates up.
In terms of the franchisee participation, I would assume you get them involved to a degree too, just like you do now with all the brands in the U.S. and you make changes, franchisee advisory councils are involved, so bringing them on board is really a key for you guys to make sure that everything goes well. They may not like the end result all the time, but at least they've had their voice.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question in the U.S., in fact, I'm leaving here to go to our Embassy Suites Owner Advisory Council meeting. So in the U.S., we have very productive owner advisory councils that help us in every aspect of what we're doing with our strategies on the physical side, on the service side, on the marketing side. They're very active participants in the process. It's a very interactive process, and I think as a result of it, we end up with a better product. We end up with a better service delivery package, better marketing programs. I think we just end up with better brands with stronger market share because of that interactive process. There's a similar process that occurs outside the U.S., but depending on where you are around the world, it changes a bit. In China, as an example, there is not a large franchise community. So much of our research is more directly with the consumer because it's not as easy to create an owner advisory council where you have franchisees that are out touching the customers every day in terms of interacting and running the hotels and that have that experience.
It's been about a year since you moved offices and moved into this beautiful office building. What are the positive things that's happened with Hilton over that year with the move? Has it worked out the way you planned?
The net of it all is these kinds of things are never without difficulty and disruption, and there was some disruption inevitably when you do that, but nothing that I would view as meaningful, and as I said, all the benefits that we had anticipated we got, plus some. And the most important probably being that, and the most important thing that I've been doing over the last 3 years is really trying to integrate what prior to Blackstone's acquisition had been a company, a great company, but a company that was running out of various silos that were not as interconnected and integrated under a common culture and a common operating system and philosophy as it needed to be. And today we've come a very long way in that process, and I think having moved the headquarters and getting that proximity to a lot of our people has been a very significant benefit to accomplishing that goal.
Chris Nassetta, it's always a pleasure catching up with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Good to see you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.